Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. Today is Wednesday, and it's time for my Q&A. So each week, I do basically answer your questions, where you guys can ask me anything you want about comics, and I try to answer your questions. So last week, I got some really great questions, and if you want to have your question answered in next week's video, you just put a comment below with your question and I'll do my best to answer it. So let's get into the questions. The very first one is from Dwayne Soper. Alan, great work. I live vicariously through you and your great collection. My question is regarding slabs. And do you ever submit raw comics to a grading company? I don't recall seeing you unboxing slabs that you got back from any grading companies. You seem to have the resources to submit them if you wished. Seems like a great way to protect some of your golden age comics for the future generations. Thanks. Okay, so yes, I actually did submit a bunch of books, both to PGX and to CGC. I submitted the books to CGC last year in March, so it's been about a year. I'm just sort of waiting. And I actually did do an unboxing video, two unboxing videos with PGX books that I got back. PGX is really good about their return times. It took about 1 to 2 months to get the books back from PGX. So I really thought they were great, unlike CGC, which seems to take forever. Now, I'll show you some of the books that I sent off to PGX. And I had wished that I got them pressed because they really brutalized the grade. So this is Amazing Spider-Man number 4, just the regular version. And I actually don't even see why it got such a bad grade. There's maybe a little bit of a ding down here in the corner, but it got a 9.0. PGX, despite its reputation, they grade pretty brutally. So I was really surprised because there's no other dings other than that one. So I was really surprised by that grade. Another one that I got back, again, they were really brutal about grading it. Because this one, again, now I'm not sure. I think right in here, there is a bit of a color breaking spine tick. That's it. That's it. There's that and maybe a little one down here. But they gave me a 9.2 on my Ultimate Fallout number 4, first Miles Morales. And I was like, oh, man, again, brutal grading. They're much stricter than people think that they are. Another one that I think they were fairly accurate on was my Doom Patrol 99. This is the first appearance of Beast Boy. And they gave me a 4.0. So with PGX, I'm not super keen on their slabs. Their slabs are a little flimsy. That's my only concern with PGX. But their grading seems to be pretty spot on. Again, another Doom Patrol related one. My Greatest Adventure, number 80, which is the first appearance of Doom Patrol. And this was, another 4.0. 4.0. So that's that one. And then I also got my, this one was in really rough shape. Actually, I was, this one had like a lot of spine ticks along the side. But other than that, it was fairly good. And they got a 5.0 from my Transformers number 1. And my last one that I will show is Bone number 1. Now this one is really pristine. The reason they dinged it so much though was there was a bit of residue right around here. So somebody had put a price tag on it. They were really dumb. They put a price tag on it. And when I removed the price tag, I removed it very carefully, but it did cause a little bit of damage around here. So that's what brought the grade down on this one. But other than that, it is really pristine. It was kind of sad. And it's like, it's one of those really hard ones to get in a high grade because it has a very black back cover. So this is Bone number 1. First print, too. So those were some of the ones that I sent off to PGX. They were all ones that I had bought back in the day. Or some of them are from eBay, but for the most part, those comics have been in my collection for a really long time. And I sent them off to PGX, and I had fairly good feeling about PGX. The grading was fair. I just didn't like the slabs. I just thought the slabs, I wish they had better slabs. I really do like the CGC slabs the best, and that'd be my only complaint about PGX. But their turnaround time is awesome. I actually plan to submit maybe about 200 books to CGC once I stop spending huge amounts of money on buying new comics. So that's something for a later date. So you should see some a CGC unboxing soon, because I hopefully will get those ones back soon that I sent last year. And then in the future, I will be doing CGC unboxings. Okay, the next question is from Paul D77. Another great video, Alan. I'm definitely looking forward to the 90s gimmick cover video. Do you know if there are any gimmick covers that were underordered or rare, or maybe hard to find in a high grade? Thanks. So last week I did 90s gimmick covers. I was looking at all the different 90s comics and looking at ones that I thought were just pretty great and very typifying of what I call the plastic age of comics. So to answer your question, there are a bunch of really rare foil covers. So one of them was max half. So what you could do is you could send off like a coupon. It was actually one of the first coupons that Wizard Comics had, Wizard Magazine. You could send that off and get like a max half. Well, some lucky people got the red or blue foiled max half comic. And there's only estimated to be like 10. They're not sure how many of those they actually printed. So they're really rare. And they typically go for just under $1,000, around $850 on eBay. So really rare, max half from 1993. Another one that's really interesting was Evil Ernie created what's called octagon editions, where they would have like these kind of black kind of covers, and they were kind of very gimmicky. And they only produced, they called them the octagon editions because they only produced 8 of each, and they produced them throughout the 90s, in 1993, 1995, 1998, and they later produced one in 2000 as well. But there's only 8 of those, and they go for about $1,000 each. So they're very rare because there's only 8. And it's one of those ones that not many people know about. So the Octagon Evil Ernie editions. So those are kind of cool. Another one that's really rare was the X-Men 297 gold foil. So it's like a kind of just a rare edition. Like in the 90s, one of the things that they would do is like have gold edition foils or blue foils or different foils where they would have really, really, really small print runs of those. Well, the X-Men 297 gold, it only had less than 500 printed. And if you think about that, that's at a time when X-Men 297 was massively printed. So, under 500, that's quite rare. And they go for about $200 on eBay. Now, another one that's actually really rare, and it's actually a reprint, was Amazing Spider-Man 300, the Chromium reprint. So it's from 1998, and it goes for about $500. It is just it's a ghost. It's a really hard book to find, but it is like the Chromium Spider-Man that we all know, the one with Venom cover. It is like the great book from the 90s. Another cool one, and this is an error, so I'm not sure if it really counts, but was Bloodshot Zero. So Bloodshot Zero was pretty printed. There was lots of them, but there is like an error where they didn't like attach some of the ink properly, and they got like this gold, like it was supposed to be a gold foil, but it's a pink. It's like a pink color instead of the gold that it should have been. And that is incredibly rare. It is the rarest, probably one of the rarest comics of all time, because there's only one in existence. And it's considered to be a prototype because it is really rare. And it goes for about $5,000. So if it ever sells, like it's just one of those ones that there's only one of. So it is a very rare book and pretty valuable. So that's Bloodshot Zero, the pink gold variant. so those are some of the ones that are kind of the gimmicky ones that most people don't even know about. So the next question is from Rumple Foreskin. What a great name. Okay. Is there a comic that you refuse to collect? It's not that I refuse to collect any comics. Actually, that's kind of a weird way of saying it. But there are comics that I just not much interest in. I'm not really interested in comics like that are geared towards women. I'm not really interested in comics that are Westerns. I'm not, like, there are some Westerns that I do collect, so that's kind of weird, but I pretty much collect everything. It's the easiest way to say it. And, you know, I'm pretty open-minded in terms of what I collect. So it's kind of one of those things. I actually collect a lot of stuff. I'm a bit of a hoarder when it comes to comics, to tell you the truth. So is there a comic that I refuse to collect? Not really. If it's really expensive, maybe that might prevent me from wanting to collect it. Or if it's something that doesn't have really great art, I might not want to collect it. But for the most part, I collect almost anything, as long as it's cool. So Ronald Burgess asks, how many bikini beach covers were there from Betty and Veronica and the Archie's series? Okay, so I actually looked into this. This one actually required a bit of research. So there were 65 bikini or bathing, like, I kind of kept it pretty broad because there's ones with swimsuits and there's ones with bikinis. Now, bikinis kind of a different type of swimsuit, but there's 65 swimsuit covers, okay? And the very first swimsuit cover in Archie was this one. Archie, this is the very first time that they had swimsuits on the cover. And this is Archie number 13. And it's a great cover. It's one of my favorite covers. It's like where they have to judge a beauty contest. And it's just like, you know, things are going to go bad. Mine's a very low grade, as you can see. But it is kind of a cool comic. So this is Archie 13, the very first swimsuit cover. And it really wasn't until Archie 95 that they had another swimsuit cover. And after that, as I said, there was 65 issues with kind of beach or swimsuit kind of covers. Of those, I'm not sure how many were bikini specifically. But what's interesting, though, is the very last bikini cover was 658, and it actually had multiple covers, so that you could get like different ones that were really great. I really recommend that, you know, if you can find 658 the B cover or the C cover. The C cover is the best one. Those are really great covers. And those were from September of 2014. So as I said, 65 swimsuit covers for Archie. Now, I looked at Betty and Veronica, but I didn't actually count them all. Sorry, I didn't count them all. The very first swimsuit cover for Betty and Veronica was in Betty and Veronica number 32 from 1957. And the very last bikini cover was 344. And that was in October of 1986. Betty and Veronica ran from issues 1 to 347. Now, Archie, going back to Archie for a second, Archie ran from 1 to 666. I thought that was a really great number. I thought it was sort of funny that they ended at 666. And the bikini covers in Archie, majority of them were Dan DeCarlo. It seemed like they always would get him to do the bikini covers. And a lot of the bikini covers for Betty and Veronica were also Dan DeCarlo. So if you're not familiar with Dan DeCarlo's art, it's really interesting. He makes them very sexy, and a lot of his covers go for good money because they are popular and they're very sexy. So believe it or not, those are all the questions that I got this week. It was a relatively short video compared to some of my other Q&A videos that go for like 2 hours or something crazy. So this is your chance, though, to ask me a question. Leave it in the comments below, and I will answer your question next week. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a short one, but hopefully a good one. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.